And roll call, please.
Precinct 1, Commissioner Cheney.
Here.
Precinct 2, Commissioner Castleton.
Here.
Precinct 3, Commissioner Russo.
Here.
Precinct 4, Commissioner Lava.
Here.
Judge Mills.
Here,
All present.
we have a quorum. Okay, any citizens to be heard? All right, item 1 is the main one that I called the meeting for, and the rest of them are just kind of put on there. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the memorandum of agreement with the Corpus Christi Area Council for the Deaf for interpreting services for the calendar year 2021 and authorizing the county judge to execute necessary documents.
Motion made, I have a second.
I'll second that.
Second, Commissioner Cheney. Any discussion?
I have a couple of questions. The contract is dated January 1st through the end of the year, but we're really just going to sign it March 1st?
Yes, ma'am. They just did a calendar year on it.
All right. And is this a new service? And if it is a new service, what was the initiative to implement it?
District judges?
District judge's request?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was told that a need for an interpreter came up in a case recently and they needed us to move quickly, but the people we found that provide these services were happy to do it, but require an annual contract. We just didn't have one with them from a prior year.
And my understanding from reading it, we engage them in providing the service. We know there's going to be a minimum charge of at least 2 hours.
Yes.
I was also told,
If they're going to come from Corpus, they have that much time minimal problem.
I was told this is expected to come from the court's operating budget, so it's not something we're being asked to hit the reserves for or anything.
And most of the time they pay portal to portal, as I understand.
That was my last question. If this was a new service, had it been budgeted? And if not, where was it to be paid?
It has not been put in the budget specifically, but they do have funds for court services, so they will be charged there.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleton.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Lava.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 2, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the $11,620.98 tax overpayment refund to Atzenhofer Properties LLC necessitated by their overpayment of their 2020 property taxes.
I'll second that.
Motion made and second, Commissioner Cheney. Any discussion?
I just have a question. So it appeared from the documents that you had attached that they just sent in way too much money for this payment because their tax bill was around 19,000 or so and they sent in about 30.
They paid it in December. It looks like they sold the property probably right after the sale, knew that they needed to pay it. And then towards the end of January, right 2026, they sent it in with a bunch of payments that they probably just had all their green slips for. And they just paid them all again and paid that property again.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleton.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Lava.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, it's unanimous. Item number 3, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the memorandum of understanding cooperation agreement by and between Aransas County and Aransas County Medical Services, Inc. for the purpose of joint development and implementation of the COVID-19 vaccination project through March 31 of 2022 and authorize the county judge to execute necessary documents.
Second.
Motion made and second, Commissioner Castleton.
My only question about this one is, it seems like the main purpose of the agreement is to be sure that if the county has access to COVID funds, we can put them to bear on things that ACMSI may come up with in the way of vaccination clinics. And I just want to kind of talk about, do we have any plans to actually spend money under this agreement? And if so, will those come back to the court for us to consider? I just want to know if there's an impact on the budget. Doesn't sound like there will be much of one with the aid funds available. Does anyone know?
I if eight, go ahead.
Ms. Osteen reviewed this contract, so I think that she would be best to answer your question.
My review of the contract leads me to believe that the county wouldn't be expending any funds as part of this project, except maybe in support activities, but I don't see that that's probably likely. If so, it would be low numbers, and it might be just to provide security or something else if there is a clinic that's large scale. Most of the expenses would be borne by ACMSI, and any grant project or grant funding that becomes available would define what eligible costs for reimbursement would be. We wrote this in such a way as to allow us to apply for grant funds from various programs should they be available. And if ACMSI properly documents everything, the county as its partner would ask for reimbursement from those grant sources for those costs.
We would initially pay if we are out any money, we'll initially pay it out of the healthcare sales tax.
Yes.
Okay,
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Walla,
aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 4, do I have a motion?
I move to approve resolution R 032021, authorizing Prosperity Bank Signature Authority and electronic banking services to add Laura Koshin, Chief Deputy Treasurer, as an authorized signer to all county bank accounts.
Second.
Made and seconded, Commissioner Castellano. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Walla,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 5, do I have a motion?
I move to approve renewing property and casualty insurance coverage for Aransas County with GSM Insurers Regional Pool Alliance, authorizing the county judge to execute necessary documents and authorize payment in the amount not to exceed $413,121.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Laubach. All those in.
My only question is, just can we get a confirmation this is a routine annual renewal and we're not increasing the amount or creating a budget issue?
No, it's a routine annual renewal, and thank God it was only a small increase in comparison to what we thought we were going to get.
Commissioner.
Have a
and
question?
Commissioners, it is an annual renewal. They did propose an 11% increase. We actually budgeted for a 15% increase, so we are well within the budgeted amounts. Also, the additional $14,919 for this auto physical damage, we will not be using that as we already have all of our vehicles insured by Texas Association of Counties. And there were no changes in coverage at all.
Any further discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Will this be the policy that would include coverage for the new Workforce Development Center if and when that comes
Yes,
online?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the schedule of buildings that's attached has a few errors as far as the addresses. Who would be the one to correct that?
We will correct it. The insurance company has done an appraisal of all of the properties, and they are working on that. Those will all be corrected when they finish that appraisal. But they will be corrected by our office, the auditor's office.
Before this takes effect or when the final agreement is signed, they'll be corrected?
Well, this agreement is the final agreement, and we will ensure that all of those have been corrected.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Walla,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. No further business. Do I have a motion?
Move to adjourn.
Motion made,
Second.
second, twice. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day.